Welcome to the Grow Your Daycare podcast. I am your host, Christina. This is a podcast for you if you are in the business of early childhood education. Maybe you're running a preschool, home daycare, even a center, and you need help with your marketing. Well, you're in the right place. I am really excited to bring you this training today. I have switched up the format in the last few weeks or so. I decided to start updating new videos over on my YouTube channel because some of you were asking for more visuals when I am, talking about social media, for example, and things like that. And I decided to start doing this over on my YouTube channel. And what we do is once the video goes live over on YouTube and all my social media, then we pull out the audio version and then we upload that on the podcast. Okay. So if you're someone that prefers to learn more visually, then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are someone that prefers to listen into content while you're washing the dishes or driving, make sure you subscribe to my podcast. All those links are found in the description of this video, okay? So today we are going to be talking about attracting families in your business and your childcare business. And I'm going to talk about 3 proven strategies that you should try and should implement if you haven't done so already to help you really attract more families. Okay. Obviously, when we are thinking about running a successful childcare program, our lifeline are our clients, right? And it's really important that we understand all the different ways that you can actually get more families to take notice, to follow you on social media, to trust you, and to eventually book a visit with you so that they can enroll in your amazing program. Okay. I want to talk about 3 strategies that I have proven to be true over and over again, not only from my experience as an ex-childcare director, but also with clients that I'm working with right now in our marketing agency. Okay. So the first should not be a shocker to anyone. It really is just building trust through exceptional service. Here's the deal. If parents don't feel comfortable or don't trust you enough to leave you their child or to send you a message to come visit, to take that next step, you are not going to get that enrollment. It's just the way it is. If they don't feel like you can be trusted, that you can be someone that is kind of like the go-to when it comes to childcare in your community, and I'm going to talk about how to do that in a little bit, then you are losing out on so much business. Okay. It's really important that we don't always focus on, posting on Facebook or the graphic or the flyer or investing in boosting a post, for example. And we forget the basic, which is bottom line. Are you offering exceptional services? Are you someone that can be trusted? And this is really, really important. Okay. No Facebook ads, no marketing strategy is going to fully book a really crappy service. It just won't. It will not. Okay. So this is one of the most effective ways you can make sure you are attracting quality families, like really quality people you want to have in your program, by building trust, by showing them that, yes, you're in this for the right reason. You can be trusted. You have all these credentials, all this experience, all this social proof, right? And basically, you want the parents to feel that their child is in the right hands. Like you really need to make them feel that they can be confident that they have made the best possible decision for their child. So when they drop off their kids at your program or at your center, at your home daycare, they can go to work resting easy, knowing in their heart that they have made the best decision possible for their child. How do you do this? A few ways. Number 1, provide amazing, exceptional care for the kids, like programming, your staff, if you have any staff. You want to make sure that the kids and your staff, the people working for you in your business, are your priority, right? You want to make sure that your program is well maintained, it's organized, like it's an organized environment, it's clean, you're meeting all your requirements required by law. You want to make sure that you are investing in your program when it comes to curriculum, when it comes to your staff, when it comes to educational material, right? That the kids are not just left alone in front of a TV all day. You want to make sure that you are someone that is always committed to growing themselves as a childcare business owner, and that you're really pouring into yourself as a professional, but also to the business and to the kids and to the families in your care. It really does matter, and parents do feel the difference. They know when they're dropping off their child, if they're just going to sit around all day and play, or if they're actually going to learn something new, if they're actually going to get something out of your program. Okay. So amazing things that you can do. Again, is just keeping the lines of communication open, really just offering an amazing curriculum that the kids are thriving in, communicating this back to the parents, right? Maybe you'll have, like in my day, we had those little daily journals the teachers used to write in, but now everything is digital. So checking in with the families, making sure that you're sharing what their kids are doing throughout the day, and really just making sure that you are responsive, caring, patient, and loving when it comes to parents' concerns, the kids in your care, as well as the staff. Because the more you do that, the more the parents feel that they have made the best decision possible, the more they're going to refer business to you. It's just the way it is. Okay. Second way to attract more families in your program is by showcasing your unique selling proposition. So I've done a few podcasts about your unique selling proposition or your USP that you can definitely go and binge listen to. But if you have no idea what a USP is, it's basically your unique selling proposition. So in a crowded market, you want to make sure that you are standing out, and that parents understand what makes your program irresistible, right? Or different from your competition or the daycare down the street. You want to identify this so clearly, and you always want to be repeating it on all your platforms, on your social media, when you're posting something, when you're putting flyers together, when you're giving a tour, when you're putting your website together, when you're hosting like open houses or virtual tours. People need to understand what your unique selling proposition is so that they can make up their mind. If you're just blending in and offering the same old, like a 6 to 5 or 6 to 6 p.m. Type of schedule, and your program is the same, you're using the same curriculum as everybody else, so it's not really standing out. But if you actually do the research beforehand and you go into local communities, maybe it's on Facebook or even like physically if you can, and ask questions, you do a little bit of snooping online, when it comes to your competition, you could go on their website, you can hop on their email list, go on their social media, and really just start to see what is everybody offering and what is something that you can offer that competitors don't or just won't. And then put something together and really just make it really amazing, and make it stand out, and make sure that you are always sharing this USP, so that you are always positioning your values and what you're offering, and really just making sure that you're always reminding parents, right? You're not going to say this one time, people are going to remember. You want to make sure that you're always reminding parents of this unique selling proposition, why they should say yes to you, what should they expect when it comes to your program. It's just so important. And I think not a lot of childcare providers or center owners do this, right? We all like to kind of blend in and do the what everybody else is doing because we think it's just they're doing it, so we'll just do it because that's the way it is. But I find those that actually take the time to kind of like come up with 4 or 5 unique selling offers that they are offering in their program that local businesses are not. I find those providers are so much more successful. They stand out from the crowd, and families that are scrolling online, they know of them because that's how much they stand out. Okay. So I'll give you a quick example. And again, if you want to learn a little bit more about USPs, you hop on over to my podcast and you kind of go through that and do a search for USP, and you'll find a few episodes. But for my center, when I was running my center, we were in a very special area in our community. So we had newly arrived immigrants that would come to the building. So I was in a building, and upstairs we had a provincial agency. So I'm in Canada, right? So we have provinces, not states. And the agency would welcome these newcomers. They would help them relocate, find daycare for their kids, help them with paperwork, help them learn the language here, right? And really just help them get set up when it came to housing and shopping and jobs and things like that. And that was one of our unique selling propositions, that we had multilingual staff working for us. So I had a teacher, all my staff spoke French and English, but we also had a teacher that spoke Greek, somebody else spoke Arabic, somebody else spoke Spanish. So all these different families that were coming from all over, they knew that we had somebody in our center that actually spoke the language that could kind of integrate their child easier in our care. We had a contract with that agency where we guaranteed a spot for a child that needed it, because a lot of these families have young children and they need a daycare so they can do their things throughout the day. So that was one of the unique selling propositions as well. Parents knew that it was a family-run business, that we did not want the daycare to feel very like institutional. We really wanted it to feel like a second home. And we really prided ourselves on that. And we were really excited to share that it was a family-run business. Our staff was with us for 10 plus years. So it was really low staff turnover rate. And these were the things that we were always sharing about when we were giving tours and, meeting new families that were interested to enroll in our programs. But I have other clients that have things like, the only bilingual Montessori childcare program in the area, or the only program in the area that offers meals that have been prepared by a child nutritionist, or vegan meals, right? So, or things like that. So you really just have to do your research when it comes to coming up with 4 or 5 things you can share about, and really put a really nice USP together that parents know is going to offer amazing care. But as soon as they hear it, they'll know, yes, like that's the daycare for us, okay? And the third is really engaging in community. So you can do this a few ways. You can actually get involved with local events, sponsoring, youth sports groups if you can, or just participating in things that your community is putting together. So community barbecues, book sales. I mean, there's so many garage sales, events at the local park, movies at the park in the summertime. So there's a lot of things, depending on where you are in the world, that I know you can actually, volunteer your services at. One of my clients actually volunteered her services at an event. They were throwing, I think, a concert in the park. Her town was throwing a concert in the park, and she volunteered to offer her services as a childcare provider if parents wanted to kind of drop off their kids. She had a little area reserved where she could kind of get to know the kids and play with them while the parents were doing something else. And that way, not only was she involved in the community, rather she was engaged in the community event, right? But she also started to share about her daycare, right? So she had her business cards ready, and a few flyers to hand to the parents that were dropping off their kids. So these are just a few things that you can start doing to really, really get more eyeballs on your business, right? Again, when we're talking about community engagement, there's so many things you can do, right? You can reach out to local businesses and ask for partnerships or referrals. You can ask someone if they would want to hop on an Instagram live with you, especially if it's somebody that specializes in something that has to do with kids. Maybe someone wrote a book in your area. Maybe it's a dentist and they want to talk about dental health. I mean, you can get really creative. The opportunities are endless, but it really starts with you actually venturing off in your community, introducing yourself as a business owner, introducing your business, and then finding those partnerships that are going to really grow your reach. This does wonders for your reach. It does wonders for your word of mouth advertising, but it also really kind of solidifies you as someone that isn't going anywhere, someone that's not closing down anytime soon, and that's someone that is really not only in business for themselves, but they actually do care about the community that you live in. Because especially if you're running, for example, a home daycare, right? Those are really personal connections that you're creating with those families. And a sense of community is something that you can offer families that not many large centers or large schools can, right? So this is your chance to really shine, to go out in your community, to introduce yourself, to create those partnerships, and to really just get involved in any way you can. And I promise you, you're going to start attracting more and more clients if you decide to do so, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this video. 3 ways that you can really just attract more families. And notice none of the ways that I just discussed are paid. These are all free, organic ways that you can grow your business. Now, I'd love to know in the comments, which one of these 3 ways are you going to leverage as a strategy? for your business? I'd love to know in the comments. So let me know if you're brave enough. Other than that, have an amazing rest of your week, you guys. And I'll see you next week. Make sure to check out the links in the show notes. And if you are looking for someone to help you with social media marketing, Facebook ads, social media content creation, check out the links in the show notes on some ways that we can work together.